Can you feel it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, it's so nice. Oh, this was not the shirt I wanted to wear. I forgot there was a opening. Opening. Okay. Okay, I know it's there. I just didn't want it to shake. Okay. There's like probably 3 people that asked about the surgery question.
Ask what?
The surgery question.
This what question?
The surgery question.
Oh.
Yep, there's another one. Justin! Eden, can you ask Justin not to do that while I'm filming? I'll start it. I tell him I start at 8 and I can't have the beep 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 from the alarm.
So what does he do?
Leave it ajar. Don't keep opening and closing it. Hi guys. Oh my gosh.
I think she opened it. We'll be fine now.
I'm just writing down things that I'm already going to be covering with what I'm doing. This question really, I just, there's so many people that think that when you die, you still have those symptoms. Like if you're sick, like.
Why would they think that?
I don't know. Beverly asked if someone dies while high on drugs or alcohol, are they still drunk or high when they cross over? I've always thought I'd rather get sober on this side than the other side. No, you don't take, that's with the body. It stays with the body.
Your soul goes, and your soul doesn't carry over that negative stuff.
Right. Okay, hi guys. Oh my gosh, I can't believe how hot I am.
It's hot outside, that's why.
I wonder if we should shut that door.
We can.
Yeah, just to make like maybe it's still hot out and it's coming through the door maybe? I don't know.
No. I'll shut it down.
Oh, thanks honey. When you guys see similar numbers over and over again, it's a message from your guides. And they'll keep repeating until you get the message. Beverly, you're welcome. Yeah, you don't take all that stuff with you, honey. That's something that the body endured, and that's mainly what I'm going to talk about tonight. Like a lot of your guys' questions, I'm going to cover tonight. I won't even have to get to it. Where do pets go once they cross over? Dolly asks. Do they hear us or they're just like a loved one? They cross over. They're with loved ones, your family. I do pet readings all the time. Usually a loved one that's crossed usually has them with them. But here, the thing is, they show me their pet selves, but they're not really pets in heaven because that's just a soul that took on a vessel to learn from it. And they hear you just like a regular loved one would. This one's interesting. I don't understand precious lives. I don't know what she means by that. If this is Lori Weeks, if we come back as someone else, I'm just checking time, then how do we get to see our loved ones when we pass too? I'm gonna cover that in this live feed too. She wants to know if the loved ones know them. Like when you cross, is your loved one gonna know you? And how, you know, if you're in a life and loved ones pass, if we come back as someone else, will they recognize us? Yeah, because you recognize the soul, not the vessel. Where's my water? Is my shungite around? Sweet mama. I am so tired. Yeah, today was really interesting. And then I sat down and the lady's like, she wants you to go for a colonoscopy to check the infection, and I'm like, okay, and then she's like, and she also has a ED something.
GED.
Yeah, that. And I was like, GED. I thought that was for school, and she goes, no. She repeated it. And I go, what's that? And she goes, where they go through the mouth. I'm like, oh,
It's a scope.
God, just
It's a scope. It just checks the top part of your stomach.
I was like, please don't do that. I mean, he's already going down. I mean, come on now. Is he going to use the same scope? Because that's not going to...
But first they'll use the butt scope, and then they'll go down through them.
Oh my God, I think I just vomited. Someone to taste me.
No, they will not do that.
That's gross. Oh, it's called shungite. It's a crystal for detoxing, so which is what I need. Okay, ancestral karma. Somebody asked, will Yellowstone blow in our lifetime? I can't. I'm not allowed giving that answer.
What they ask?
Will Yellowstone blow in our lifetime? I'm actually not allowed to give that answer.
Blow.
It's volcano stuff, I guess. There's just so many questions that I'm just totally gonna cover, and it's like I had to keep my thoughts straight because there's how many pages are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Back and forth though.
Right.
Yeah. I'm taking you guys right through the beginning until, not the end, but what kind of happens after you go through transition, which is the school of knowledge, or the hall of knowledge. Yeah, we go on the radio at 8. My producer will contact me a minute before the show starts. He's hilarious.
I know. He's so funny.
Hopefully my volume is up enough. Okay. Lily's killing me. She's so loud. Here's another question I'm going to be covering. Can you speak on the difference between low and high vibrations in people? Amina Tolan asked that, and we are going to go over that. There's so many questions I'm going to cover.
So it's pretty ironic that the questions they want to know
are just going to get covered. I'm not even, yeah. When are spirits traveling the dimensions while we sleep? Is there a chance we might not make it back to our body and the body can die? Yeah, very much. It's not about making it back. It's a choice if you want to come back. Victoria Rivera asked that.
You've gone over that before.
Eden. When someone dies, do they know they died? Yeah. I thought you said when they cross over right away. Well, they do cross over because you don't go anywhere else but cross over when you die because you don't stay here. But then I thought I heard you say you had to help someone who didn't know they were dead. It can happen on occasion, but a good portion of them know they died. It's very rare that I have somebody, and usually it's somebody that was died that was confused already, and they put themselves in a perception of confused, which I'm going to gonna go over.
Go over all that tonight.
Tonight on the radio show. So you guys saw me dancing with the old lady at my shop, and Lucy and her granddaughter came back to the shop, and I guess I told you guys how I was, seeing the tornado
Yes.
on the frontal lobe, and then the red smear on the left lobe, and what they had to do with. And I said, she's in alternate state of reality where she can't distinguish which world she's in. And Amanda, said, what did she say? She swore she had goats or lambs or goats. She swore that they had goats, and they don't. So that's an alternate reality that she's in. She thinks that this is part of that one reality. Well, she kept saying, when I bent down and I was talking to her and I did healing on her, she kept saying to me, "Are you really real?" And I thought at first she meant my gifts, but that's not what she meant. After doing the healing on her, I knew what she meant because she was in different states. And she asked me again. I said, "No, I'm really here, Lucy. I'm really here." So she gets in the car, and she turned to Amanda and goes, "Was that an angel? Was she an angel?"
She just still couldn't
No,
comprehend.
yeah, she couldn't comprehend who I was. But here's what I didn't get. And then she said, Amanda said that she was coming down from what I did to her from the healing. She was coming down, and they were over by the school in the car when she was coming down from it. But here's what I think she was picking up on. I think she saw me as Mary Magdalene healing her, and she just, and when I'm like that healing, I'm real bright.
Right.
Like there's a bright light behind me. Well, you've seen it with Rena when
Yes.
taking those pictures. That bright light shows
bright
up.
light shows, yes.
Yeah, the bright light shows up, and I think that's what she saw, and she took it as
An angel.
that's what her eyes were so big. She's like,
I know they were.
and then I did healing on her, and she was like, she was like leaning to the right.
I kept going.
So that's why I stopped. I didn't want her to fall over.
She was going.
Yeah, because I
and
kept
going.
feeling her because I was in one spot, and I was like, why is she move? Why do I keep losing it? And I opened, and she's like leaning.
Well, she had her eyes closed. And she was like, it was almost like she was going. She's going like this. I'm like,
In a trance.
I was trying to get your attention, like she's going.
No, I felt it because I would feel it, and all of a sudden it would get real light, and I couldn't feel it. I'm like, what? And I opened my eyes. I'm like, that's why she's leaning away from my hands. So I was like, okay, we're gonna
Come on
get you
back,
to wake
there,
up.
Lucy.
Oh my god. Yeah. So it's the bright light behind me. Listen, wake. If I have to wake up, you wake up.
I go drive home now, too.
Oh my god. And I have a funeral to go to tomorrow. Welcome, Susan. Oh, everybody say welcome, Susan. Hi, Susan. She's like, I'm new here. Hello, hello, Susan. Hello. It's from the sign. I watched Seinfeld yesterday. Can you tell?
Yeah.
Hello. That's that episode where they just kept doing that to each other. Hello. Hello, Tiffany. Hello,
everyone.
I love you guys. That's too funny. Hi, Misty. Welcome. Hello, Misty.
That's how you should say.
That was low.
Hello.
Hello, Misty. How you doing? Okay, it's not that kind of show. That's
No. Lucy's not here.
Misty's got it going on apparently. My guide's got all like woo with her. Oh boy, 15 minutes. What do we talk about?
What did we talk about?
How I have an infection and it sucks.
And we gotta change everything again?
We have to change everything.
Yep, we gotta change everything.
So I'm at my doctor's and she's like, and I'm telling her everything that's going on. And she said, I was fine up until she said, "Are you sleeping at night?" And I was like, and I started crying. She's like, "What's wrong?"
I guess you're not sleeping at night.
I go, "No, not." And she's like, "What's going on?" I just lost it. I just told her everything that was going on. And she's like, "Christy, if you had a normal job, I would be writing a slip for you to be off work for a month. The stress is causing the infections on your gallbladder, which is flowing and seeping back into your liver." I'm like, that's awesome.
So it's time to slow down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's time to slow down.
It's not so much slow down because I can literally lay in bed and do readings. Like literally. All the loved ones are just right there, all lined up, ready for me for the whole day. That's what happens when I come in. They like come, or they'll come like a day or two early.
I know they do.
And then when I go into readings, I already have them like all lined up and I got to figure out who's with who. That's the sucky part. But for some reason when I'm doing the online and I'm typing, the person I need just kind of like glows and comes forward. They glow like a certain color.
So it's easier.
Yeah. And they push all the other ones back, like they're gray. And then the ones that I'm supposed to be talking to kind of light up like a Christmas light, but it's like foggy.
Right.
And then I like know, okay, which one wants to talk, and then one will light up more than the other one, and then I'm just typing it all out.
Right. So it is technically easier.
Oh my god, it's so much easier. I just lay back and just type away what they're saying to me. It's so easy. It's really easy, yeah. It'll be nice, because then I can just lay there and just be like, okay, what do you want to say? Like, I can't stop work. I told her that.
No,
She
you
goes,
can't.
well, you have to adjust it. And I said, well, we were thinking of just doing mediums and bundles in person and all angelics online. And she goes, will that make it seem easier? And I was like, oh yeah. I don't have to get up and get ready and go to the shop as much as I would.
Right.
And we're going to designate days to do that. So I'll be there for medium reading like all day on a Tuesday and Thursday, and angelics I'm home whatever day we designate. So yeah. No, I will be probably Dean when I start the radio show. You had to go say something, didn't you, Dean? At least you're not rubbing your nose.
Oh, we had to put that out there.
I know, right? Damn
Way
it,
to go,
Dean.
Dean. Way to go. You had to put
You had
it
to call
out
Victor
there.
and you freakazoid. No, I'm just kidding. What are all your gifts? Oh, God.
Just tell them numerous amounts.
I'm the only one that can talk to ICU patients. I talk to the living and the dead. I'm what's called a tracker when it comes to missing persons, homicide cases, and murder victims. I'm a modern day prophet. I can help you with your life, with your soul contract. Now I'm going to talk about this. There's only a few to none, pretty much, few to none who have access to the Akashic records, which is basically your soul contract. And there's not, and like be alive to remember it. Like you can have ones that can have access in heaven to it, but to come here on earth and remember it, it's slim to none. No, Sue, no, there's no ulcer. I thought it was. I literally thought it was. I'm telling you, shungite makes water taste so much better.
Does it?
Oh my God, yeah, I would drink water all day if shungite was in it.
I'll have to use mine at home.
Oh my God, it's so good. Did you miss that I used to own Paprika. What? That was in your store. Okay, yeah, we need to. Victoria, I'm gonna do a live feed on that separate. Everybody wants to know what the red dot was by the moon. Remember, I pointed it out to you
Yes.
when we were out here. And I said it's not a new planet. It's just our veil is thinning out and things are going to start being in the sky. You didn't notice it before and it's always been there. It's always been there. And it's not Mars. It's just a different realm.
That'll be a good live feed.
Yeah. Yes, I do mentor Misty. You can do an evaluation and then join the rest of the student tribe. What? Have you ever helped anyone that's been catfished?
What?
Okay, I'm starting to think that some of these people are.
Yeah, that's not even just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you make a live feed about flat Earth? Yeah, I can. I've seen that one before from him. Callie, I need you to keep lookout for people just saying some weird stuff, because that's usually a heads up that they're trying to like shut down the live feed. No, or Kate, that's the problem. Akashic record. I'm gonna actually talk about it. I'm gonna talk. Wait till the radio show starts. I'm gonna actually talk about all that stuff, guys. Nancy, how do I feel? I feel really crappy, but I'm gonna push through tonight because I don't want to skip another radio show like last week. So, Angela, what the process is basically, like I said earlier, your loved one comes to me. I'm typing everything they're saying. Your guides come to me. They show me. Eden, what are you doing? What are you doing? Can you go find out? I can't have her making noise when we're on the radio show. She's got to like shut it down for an hour. Okay, sorry guys. Eden's just, she's cleaning. There's too much noise. Do you do healing on? Amber, yes, I do healing on anything. Yeah, Kelly, you just hold down and then block them. I'm not even messing around anymore. We can't have any more hackers or scammers. Like, let's just keep it healing, light, and legit. Oh, Misty, you can join the Mentoring Medium page, which is for the students. The Galactic ones, that's a page. Walk-ins, that's another page. Divine Healing and Love, that's another page. The Divine Medium page, obviously, you can't miss a beat with that one. The most recent one is Divine Medium Crystal Cove, where you can talk about crystals and show your favorite crystals, things like that. And actually, Angela, when you go to buy a reading, you can see examples. You just go to the reading, go to the pictures, and you can actually look how a reading is played out. It's pretty cool. And there's even a video of how, there's even a video of how I do readings. So, like live on radio or live on stream. Yeah, or Kay, you might want to wait. Just wait till I have to tell you, because I feel like a lot of those might be taking people for a ride. I want you guys to be careful. And here's the thing, if you access that stuff when you're not supposed to, you might be accessing somebody else's records and then obtaining them as your own, and then you mess up your soul contract by switching with someone else. Oh, Kelly, really? Crap. Kelly, I have an idea. Text Yvonne if you see somebody, or just flag it. Isn't there a way to like click them and flag it as bad? Thank you, Christine.
And when she texts me.
Kelly Cooper cracks me up.
Hi, Kelly Cooper.
Oh, shungite's in my water, Sherry. Shungite. It's a crystal we sell at the shop. It gets rid of the detox. It detox your body. Thanks, Deanna.
She can't delete them?
No, she has to be logged in as me.
Okay.
Which she does log in as me, but if I'm live and she's watching,
Right.
she can't be both.
Okay.
Will you be taking? Robin, no, because that's going to be too long to speak on the radio. I can try after the radio show. Thanks, Amy. Oh, okay, there you go. Sarah said to hold comment and report it. Yeah, that's it, Kelly.
She got it? Okay.
Aw, Deanna, that's awesome. Thank you. Amanda Brandel said cousin Kelly. That's so funny. We'll let Kelly know. Okay, that's awesome. Thank you. Oh God, I'm gonna butcher your name. Rupinder.
What's she say?
They'll let Kelly know by a mad face on the comment.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, Kelly, look for the mad faces by everyone.
Awesome. That works.
Kelly said she got your text and thank you.
Okay, that's fine. That will work better for her.
Could you explain what the gift of foresight is?
It's almost like prediction. Is that what they mean?
Well, that would be modern day prediction, yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah, she's pretty awesome. We're at 111. Think positive, everybody. 111. Think positive. My gallbladder sucks and it needs to go away.
That's positive.
Oh yeah, that
2 more
wasn't
minutes.
positive. That was really negative. I totally did the opposite. Hi, Leanne. We're good. We don't start for another minute or two. Probably should put this on. I can't see a freaking thing. All right. And these are all. Oh my gosh, I'm so burpy. That means Spirit's here when I start getting burpy.
Burpee.
Ask her if she can take him up. Take Lily upstairs. We can't have her squawking while she's like.
Yeah.
All right, can you lift? Oh no, because I think that cage is a little bit heavy. It should be all right, right?
She'll be fine.
Okay. Jackie, thank you, honey, but I don't go to other readers. Sorry, honey. I have my guides I let guide me. Hello.
Hello, there you are. How are you? It's been a while. Who are you again? Oh, wait, I know you.
Santa
Hold
Claus.
on a second. I know. Hold on. Let me make sure I got a good connection here. And yeah, all right. We're on the new Skype this week, so it's an adventure. So
okay.
you'll be enjoying quite the adventure. That's all I can tell you.
Awesome.
All right. Are we taking calls? And if so, how long?
No, I'm
First one.
actually going to do a learning lesson on the Hall of Knowledge in Heaven.
Ooh, I love it. All right, well, groovy. Well, let's see here. This new Skype, I'll say this, the video looks a lot better. You
Yeah.
look sharp. The colors are beautiful. Yes, you look great. All right, let's see here. Let's see if I've got you all set up here. I believe you are. Let's see, there's the Divine Medium and the Divine Medium. And where are you located again?
Johnstown,
Where you
PA.
Oh, You just say Johnston?
Johnstown, PA.
Johnstown, that's right. Johnstown.
Yes.
Right? All right, and let's see. I'm ready to rock. If you're ready to rock, I'm going to push this button right now. Just say yes.
Yes.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Live from the Divine Medium with Christina Live from the divinemedium.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or our website, askoneradio.com.
All right, you look good, you sound good. This is going to be a great show.
Great.
Get ready.
Thank you.
You are live now.
Hi, welcome to the Divine Medium presents Spirit Talk Live. Today I want to talk about the Hall of Knowledge. It is a place in heaven. I know everyone wanted to get the Angel of the Week, the Crystal of the Week, but I feel like we're not going to have enough time to do all that. So let's just get right into it. If you are looking to get sessions, get crystals, get anything to help with your life, you would go to thedivinemedium.com for any of that stuff, or the crystalcovespa.com for your crystal needs. Okay, let's get right into it. The Hall of Knowledge, it is a different plane of existence. It's a different vibration from Earth. There is a connection to Earth, which they call AKA Terra, in the sense that we learn of what we have to get done. It's like a big hall or banquet. It has these big white pillars. It kind of bends in at the top, just like the Book of Knowledge area, where you gain most of your insight to different places and realms, okay? The School of Knowledge, or the Hall of Knowledge, is more to kind of review your lives. The Book of Knowledge area is mainly kind of getting insight to other places. It's not bright like the sun, it's more like warm and sunny, and it shines from within and without, if that makes sense to you. So it's mainly, it shines from wherever and everywhere, okay? The hall is tall, has marble pillars, like I said before, and emits a white radiance. If you come to the Hall of Hall of Knowledge, you're going to go down what's kind of like a corridor or a hallway, and this goes towards the classrooms or the lecture areas, and you perceive anything you want to in this area, in this hallway area, meaning you can see anything that you would like to see. If you visualize it, it's just suddenly going to appear. However, if you make an experience good or bad, so in the sense of bad, if you were dealing with guilt, or forgiveness, you're going to create this kind of soul suffering in this area so that you can review this emotion. And this isn't to be reviewed in a bad way, but more of a calming, peaceful perception of what you just dealt with. It's basically, the Hall of Knowledge is a transition area between the realm you just came from to the plane of existence that you're about to go into, okay? I have all my notes here so I don't lose my thoughts. You are the one learning in this area, and in turn, you make the surrounding environment look however you want it to. Every plane of existence is essential on a higher plane of Earth, so the topography or the surrounding area around you is going to be very similar to the energy of Earth. The energy is a lot thicker here. There is still hills and mountains and valleys and water, but not so much in the positioning sense that it would be on Earth. The colors are much more intense and vibrant. They're more pure in nature. You can have personal buildings of your own, but the energy behind this kind of construction blueprint behind these buildings is more influenced by giving a certain imagery leeway, again, with your perception. Mainly it's Earth at a different plane. Everyone sees, but it's at a much different energy level. So just like the laws that control gravity on Earth, the laws that govern the energy here in this area are different than Earth, okay? So the animals are real, the trees are real, everything's real, the ground is even solid. However, the constructs of this plane can be very, very done effectively different. It's here all the time to help make the soul comfortable and at peace, but it's just a matter of personal perception as to whether or not you perceive it that way. When I speak of this, I'm speaking of souls on the plane of karmatic cycling or a soul's mantling. They don't really call it karmatic or karma. They call it more spirit mantling, soul mantling, aka incarnation. These souls would not perceive it because they are at a lower plane of perception and perceive imagery at that level. Thank you. Sorry, guys. Most souls would call this plane to heaven, but rather refer it to as a soul's paradise. So there's a difference between a soul's paradise and heaven, okay? Paradise in the sense of a perfected earth plane. Earthly without destruction and decay. Heaven, on the other hand, refers to the higher plane of learned knowledge. This place is the existence that a soul or spirit knows of instinctively, kind of like a baby deer instinctively learns to go to their mother deer for milk or food. Heaven is where everything is energy. Paradise is where lower planes of learning still are similar to Earth, but just at a higher plane of Earth. This goes for other alien races as well. So if you come from that plane of existence, you're going to perceive that plane of existence to continue learning from that plane of existence. They will see similarities in their worlds on this plane of existence. And sorry guys, we have some background noise. Okay, heaven is energy manipulated. When a soul passes or crosses over into paradise, everything must have its order. Things must be perceived and comprehended before your soul is prepared to transition into the higher levels so that your consciousness can understand it more fairly. In heaven, there are no earthly sceneries, but rather your perception is different there. You see energies kind of like the popular energy light display of an aurora borealis. You are energy, and in turn you can manipulate energy to achieve or cause different situations or things to happen, okay? When you are in the higher planes, you are given access into the lower planes to see what's going on, so you can tap into those lower planes to kind of learn from them. There's no constricting viewpoint to these areas, but rather what level you desire to see. There are no surroundings in heaven because there are no horizons to kind of pull back these boundaries. Paradise is the transition area for the soul to adjust to the fact it is no longer on the earth plane. It needs time to understand it, has freedom to move around into different planes to a soul that has access based off the soul's learning and advancements. You can be in a classroom or a lecture place, which is where you would come for me. I'm one of the teachers. Many souls come there. Could be other souls that you can be in a classroom or lecture with many souls, and there could be other souls there that you don't see who may be working on their soul issues. They have different lessons to review or learn, and eventually need to come to terms with that learning. A soul must not limit themselves to worldly influences, for these are the issues most souls struggle with in the lectures. You do not learn alone. Your guides are always with you. Your counsels are always there to help you when needed. When asked a question, the answer is immediately given. There's no wait time because everything is telepathically given, and it's there to be absorbed at all times. I get asked if we have bodies, and we just got asked that earlier on the Facebook page. Not in the sense that you would expect it. It's more energy based with a body outline. You can visualize things like a robe or clothing. that may be worn that comes across more like a transparent white liquidy feel. A soul can look more solid if they choose to, but you don't have to. It's more energy based, and whatever type of visual clothing pleases them is what's going to be seen. Again, this is a projection of an image that at that specific time that soul is feeling that kind of energy about themselves. And no one looks alike. It depends on what the soul wants to achieve. A soul can be ever changing their look from time to time, but for the meantime, a soul mainly chooses one imagery to kind of base themselves off of. Some classes you can take are like things like life experiences. In this class, you would take all of your lives experiences and compile them together in one to kind of make sense of what you've desired out of your learning and what the outcome was to be, and how each situation may have affected you, or how each situation you handled it with your actions or words. And what the biggest thing is, what did you learn? Is it very peaceful in this class? Yes, which gives the soul their mindful solitude. You want to be very mindful in this kind of teaching area, okay? Here on earth, we adjust our own judgments to fit our lives. We usually do this to make our actions justified. But in the class, you can analyze these actions and go through each situation again and again and again to help gain a more truthful perspective of what really happened to you, what really happened around you. I'm going to kind of put out that, you know, when I was in heaven, the best way I can describe the area I was in was there's this fabric of life, and it's very dark in front of me, very light behind me, and both ends of the spectrum meshed together and just made sense. Again, not a horizon, but a meshing, where the light can seep through at any point in time. And there was stars in front of me, and there was more and more each time I kind of put my perception from one side to the next side. And it, you know, again, when you ask a question, it immediately comes to you, and you don't wait for an answer. The answer comes immediately. And the stars, I automatically knew were souls. And it doesn't matter if the fabric was ripped or torn, it wouldn't be torn or broken. It was alive, and it stayed meshed, and it stayed together. And that was the souls coming together and showing that they were learning together, no matter what level they were on. So you could have big stars, medium stars, little stars, but they all shone at the same level of brightness, meaning they are all learning together, no matter what level they're on. Okay, let's see. We do this so as to not repeat previous dysfunctional learnings. We go to these areas because of this. We don't want to make errors in our learning. We want to grow. We don't want to go backwards. You can learn many lessons on how to deal with human problems, which then help to make better decisions. This way, the soul expands in their advancement and their horizons in their own learning. In your soul's contracts, you will go over decisions you will make, the work that will be handled, and the problems that will be dealt with. So everything in your soul contract is coming together. Everything you want to learn is in that soul contract. You choose the learning situations, how you decide, and then how to handle yourself as well as others you have to have relationships with. When you go through things on earth, the most important thing is your attitude, the way you handle it all. The biggest regret in lives during this perception of how you're learning is to not be self-deceptive. Don't self-destruct yourself. The biggest thing is fear as well. You don't want this to control you. People can't be honest. They can't make excuses for why they do things, and then in the end justify it with twists and turns, with untruth. Okay, so always just be truthful to yourself and admit that yes, I'm afraid, but how can I fix that? Okay. One soul can learn in the class how to speak up for themselves. So this could be, and this kind of reminded me of somebody close to me that I know. The soul can learn how to, stand up for themselves, how to be strong and not allow others to manipulate themselves. And I myself am learning this as we grow popular. As I grow popular, I'm starting to realize that I have to take back control of what I'm supposed to be learning, and somebody can't just randomly take that from me. Your spirit knows the main things you need to learn, and then it creates situations without your physical really even being aware of it. It kind of just plays it out as it's supposed to. But all in all these things happen for a reason. On Earth, you want to be aware. You'll think it's all just happening by chance, but really all has been thought out and planned for a purpose upon your soul's learning here. So a good portion of what you're learning you aren't even aware was already planned out as it's going. When does a soul decide to return, and do they have to? I get this asked a lot. No, a soul doesn't have to return if it doesn't feel appropriate to. You can stay in heaven or paradise and learn, but there are no real rules that say you have to mantle back through or not. It's when a soul seeks challenge rather upon peace that they decide these things come into play where they want to learn. So if you want to challenge your soul, you're going to end up coming back here. If not, you'd rather just stay in peace, then you stay in heaven or paradise. When a soul chooses another soul, you can fill or fit that soul's needs. Then you get involved with them on the other side. You build emotions and bonds, and their lives are eventually affected by you, and vice versa. Everything, again, must be planned out ahead, so that many souls who wish to travel to Earth are not bombarded by vessels. And I know this is weird to say, but there's not enough bodies for every soul to come here. So your planning and your learning is very strategic and very important. Vessels that are being returned are immediately used again. Okay, I know it's a little weird, but this is how this works. Teachers in heaven, like myself, help souls make the bigger decisions. Okay, your little decisions are made by you, but the bigger decisions are helped along with your masters and your teachers. Your soul makes the lesser ones. A soul contract is too complicated to figure out on your own. A soul will also sometimes make it too easy on themselves and not give themselves enough issues in life to which they wouldn't grow in their own learning here on Earth. So wasting Earth time is not an option. You do not want to do that, okay? Your physical Earth characteristics are the total sum of everything you have ever done, ever been. Each soul has a personality, and the personality is what makes everything continue to be learned, okay? It's your free will that's intact, in which you choose what you choose, because you are that person. The personality is very predictable, so everybody around you is going to know what you're going to choose, what you're going to decide based off that personality. It's just, this is your MO. This is your personality. However, a soul can change situations just by changing or going against the character, but it is unusual for a soul to change in this way so dramatically and quickly. You make your own decisions, but however, if a soul does change in this way, it's most likely a walk-in, and we're going to talk more on that in the next radio show, the next episode, which would be next week. You make your own decisions and you wouldn't want to possibly learn. So you want to make your decisions based off things that you would most likely wouldn't want to learn, but you probably should. You must handle your own mistakes, quote unquote mistakes, or what you perceive as mistakes in your own learning. You have a choice in matters, and those that choose to not worry about matters in order to make change are simply just becoming lazy about those matters and not wanting to grow. So things like animal abuse or things that are going on with politics. If you're just sitting back and not helping the cause, then you're not really, getting involved in your learning. When you go into a physical body, you don't remember things of the previous, but this is to an extent. There are always ways of tapping into the consciousness to remember. It just takes time to study and learn how to do this. Practice. Karma is to be learned till it is overcome. For example, if you kill someone, maybe over jealousy or over money, you must come to that same situation again till you overcome it, and oftentimes that is not, it's not turned around and you might be killed. So long story short, if you kill somebody, you can come back and end up being killed over the same exact thing. And this is how this karmatic wheel or the mantling happens, where a soul learns from this karmatic path of understanding through love. And this is to help people love better. You may have to leave a very amazing life if you did this. If you killed somebody over cheating or jealousy or money, you may plan out an amazing life. Everything's perfect, and all of a sudden, bam, you're yanked from that life. And it was short-lived. This is so in order to experience the loss of something pleasant and good, it all comes back around in order to be learned. You can also pay it back, so to speak, where you need a person, a great injustice, and have to come back and serve them in another life. So if you do something bad to somebody, you can actually come back and have to serve them in some way or protect them in some way. This is called a dedication of a soul life. You're dedicating one of your lives to them out of respect and love for what you did. Earth is not the only realm of consciousness. There are old souls, there are young souls. All souls have been around for the same degree of time. However, some souls have chosen to mantle through or incarnate through more than others, which makes them more older or wiser in their learning of earthly experiences or other planes of existence. So why learn from the physical? It's very important to learn this way, but you cannot change yourself without experiencing a reason to change. So it's like reading a book. You're absorbing the words and kind of creating this story for yourself. But if you don't use the knowledge, it is not worth. It's not worth it. It's not true in its worthiness. It's not felt in great depth. So you have to come into the physical to learn from the consciousness that you came from. So it's basically reading the book and you get kind of like this story, but it's not until you get into the story that you actually understand the life lessons learned. It is very hard to learn lessons, very hard, but if you can learn the lessons before you understand the struggles and the tough times, you will remain with you. Those will remain with you for a lasting time. So basically, long story short, what I'm trying to get at is you have to learn from struggles and tough times, because they end up staying with you longer than something that would be super easy and peaceful to get through. I mean, if you're just wanting peace and lovey cushy stuff, then you wouldn't leave heaven. Okay. I am one of the guardians. It's very big to be a guardian of the records, the Akashic records, as some people call them. But it's actually called the Life Book, and it kind of looks like one of these books, but it's really, really big. It's kind of like that, and I think that's why a lot of people are drawn to big books like this, is because it's the life book that they keep trying to go back to, because they keep wanting to look at their lives. I'm one of the few allowed to read or access these. Not too many souls are allowed to access the Akashic records or the mantling soul contract records. Some who study and practice for a very long time have little access to them, but very few that I know of that are incarnate and have full access to those records. It's very few and slim. Let me see. It has everyone's lives in it, so to speak. Everyone can refer to it when needed, but when you turn the pages, it will reflect what you are looking for, and so forth for someone else, okay? It reflects upon the soul and what that soul seeks to obtain within its pages. What you seek, you want to find, is there. So an analogy for this would be a mailing center. So there are individual mailing boxes that stores your mailing center mailings, basically. But the mailing center itself, the building itself, is the big storehouse. Each mailbox contains only that which is relevant to you. So you yourself are the mailbox. of your own energy. So in turn, you may go to your particular box and withdraw information which you seek. However, the book or mailing center houses the pages with that particular information. Every experience is automatically put into the book to be looked upon for reference upon anyone at any time. So basically, if you're reviewing something in one of your past lives or your life here, you're going to go to the soul contract book of life and review it. And sometimes when you get memories of your loved one, it's that loved one that's actually going to those records to review certain parts of their lives, and you're getting downloaded with the memory that they're reviewing. So when that happens, you want to kind of step back and go, okay, what did we learn? Okay. These can play out in the life review in order to be revealed later in real time. So again, going back to old memories that you may have had with a loved one. If, for example, a particular experience was to be removed from records, this would be done only if it serves no purpose. For example, the burning of the Jews or burning of the witches. For those who experienced those parts of life, was not intended to be an experience, but to be more of a problem and would cause issues in their other lives. So there's a karmatic or mantling protection put over these souls' experiences that could be later erased. Their subconscious could not access such a tragedy, for it would indeed cause problems in future lifetimes. These types of occurrences go through the healing process to nullify these traumatic experiences through healing energies. One can complete their mantling, their karmatic mantling, in one full lifetime if they choose to, and in turn live a more exemplary life, and that is the end of it. That's the end of it. They put all their karmatic experiences into one lifetime just to get it all done, and then that's it. They don't have to repeat those things. And I believe those souls really have a tough, hard time. Whereas some have to go on and on for many lifetimes to work out things. So we are going to learn a lot more about the Hall of Knowledge. Our time is almost up. And if you guys continue to stay on the Divine Medium fan page and Christina K. Watts, C-A-Y, middle name, page, we are live on Facebook. I will be continuing to talk about this and answer questions that anyone has. So you guys are welcome to join in after the show. But all of this knowledge with Hall of Knowledge, the School of Knowledge, a study of knowledge in heaven, it is an amazing place. You're free to learn anything you want to learn. You're not stuck to one course of action or learning, so you can continue to learn all these things. And if there's certain things that are too traumatic, you can remove them. You're not stuck with them. You can learn from them in different ways. So if you were one of those Jews that were in those traumatic times, you don't have to have those things sticking to your energy. God will remove them because he knows how traumatic they are, and this is allowed. This is just an example of his love of helping the soul.
That's right. We have to pull you out. We got a show right after you. What a great show.
Thank
Boy,
you.
I'm glad you're back. You kick us off with energy for the week. So awesome job. Have a great week. We will do it again in 7 days.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Bye.
Bye.
Kelly, inbox me. They've been showing up. Somebody's been faces.
Oh, yeah, I'm not worried as long
So
as
just
it's...
keep an eye on it.
Yeah. Hey, guys. Oh, that's where Santa heard deet, deet, deet. I'm like, God, I'm live on the radio. Why are you opening doors? It is so hot in here. There's just so much. I couldn't even get to a good portion of it. I knew that I was going to run out of time with talking
Next
about
time.
everything.
We should finish up with that next time.
I can finish up now because I was actually I wanted to talk about the School of Wisdom next week.
Oh, okay.
Like, I want to kind of just take everybody through this tour. And it was just so much to take in when I was there. And to try to get it out on 28 minutes is like really hard.
It's not gonna happen.
I mean, I got it all out in my head last night and tried to organize it all. But, okay, so here's some really cool things a lot of people don't know. There's a thing called resting life, okay? There's the resting place and then there's the resting life. And this was the last thing I needed to talk about. But some choose the resting life. This is where a soul pretty much skates through life with no karma. And there's no karma that needs to be worked out or figured out, and no new karma is being created. And it reminded me of Justin.
Oh yeah.
Because these kind of souls, they live a dull life. Not that I'm not saying he's boring,
No.
but he is very grandpa-ish. Doesn't go out, just watches TV, goes to work, and is very like relaxed life.
Yeah, he does.
They like just skate through life. That's basically him. This dull life where nothing amazing happens. They don't make waves, but rather flow along and allow whatever happened to happen.
Yeah,
That's
he
him.
does.
We cannot know what type of life this person is resting from or preparing for next. However, we can have these types of souls in our lives, and we must respect to not judge them for being this way. It's hard sometimes. I look over and he has his mask on. I'm like, oh God. I was like, please don't make me laugh. Please don't make me laugh. Okay, there are other schools and other planes to be learned from. Everything is experienced to a particular degree, at least once by all. You don't always go to class or school every single time you finish a life. You can, however, sometimes choose to rest. Many who are in the resting don't talk much and are way sleepy and don't give out too much information. Justin. There's also a resting place in the state of plane, which is a place for a soul to go, which is in total silence and nothingness. Oh my God, Jessica, he had his stormtrooper mask on, and I looked over while I was doing the live, and I'm like, oh my God, stop. I just saw you like moving around, like, what is she doing? I look over and he's like,
I was moving for him.
good God. Okay. They go there after a very traumatic life or when they have no wish to forget and want to carry it over. So for example, if I love Ireland so much in my life in Ireland, and I keep wanting to return to Ireland, you can go to this resting place to kind of erase all the memories of that persisting life so you don't keep wanting to go back there.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Okay, so resting place completely erases everything up until that point. Resting life is a soul that has just come from a stressful life and they need to rest, but not necessarily forget the personality, which is a life. The personality is the life. The character is the soul that takes on the personality of that life. I think that's where people are kind of getting a little confused. The resting place is for those having problems forgetting the personality that they were last in. There are many planes of school and many resting places for a soul to learn. And that's where I ended it. And then I will do some notes on the School of Wisdom next. Yes, Kyla, any soul here could remember the Hall of Knowledge, the Hall of Wisdom, the soul contract, transitioning. So, yeah. I felt like that show, like, whizzed right by.
It did.
Oh my God. I was like, I kept looking, I'm like, oh my God. I'm like
at
running out of time. I don't even have, where do I end? I kept thinking, oh my God, where do I end? And I didn't want to end with having, like, I probably should have just finished it out, but I thought he was going to cut me off right when I was trying to finish it off.
He probably would have.
Mm-hmm.
You finished it off at the perfect time.
Yeah. I was just kind of going to review maybe some of the questions. You've explained that our deceased loved ones, this is Misty, cannot be our guides if they've passed after we were born, but can and do they sometimes join forces with our guides? They can, but it's a supportive role that they take, so they can do like a guidance, but it's more of a supportive guidance, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Do we each have our own guide or guides, and do they follow us throughout our lifetime and experiences? Yes, they don't leave you. They're from the time you create your soul contract till the time you return to transition. Do we ever share guides? Yes, you can have a sharing guide. Maria is only my guide, but I can share a guide with Victor. Like somebody can share, like for example, Sylvia Brown's guide showed up after she passed, and I was like, what? And this was when I first came out and started doing reading. She was kind of guiding me, and then she went away. When I took off and I was good on my own, she went away, and Maria kind of just really took over after that. Okay. Amy, I couldn't answer that. You would have to do that meditation, and whatever is shown to you is shown to you. I don't do implanting, honey. I'm sorry. Okay. Is God a woman? Melissa Ream. You were just singing that song the other day. I had to ask. He's both. She's both. She's both.
She's both.
Basically, it's not even a he or she. It's a I am. It's just I am. What happens to darkness? Where does it go? This is Melissa. Here she goes with her questions. I love it.
I know.
What happens to darkness? Where does it go when you cleanse a house? You know what? I guarantee she was one of my students, because she asked specific questions that a soul would ask if they were in heaven. Like just strategically how she asks
How
it.
she asks
Yeah.
it.
Well, it goes back to where it came from after you cleanse, and most likely angels show up to return it to where it belongs. Can dark entities be destroyed or die? No. They can wreak havoc, but there's borders and that they can't cross, and they're returned to the place that they inhabit. That's what Victor said, at least. Can you explain how to, or what it means to be a high vibration? Oh, I went over that in that live feed. If every life here is a lesson, do we ever graduate to something better? What's the end result? Well, the end result would really be up to your soul on what it's learning and what it wants to learn. Do you receive signs before death that it's your time, just between you and the master? Yes, actually. When people start seeing their loved ones, when, like, I get people asking me, you know, my dad was doing really weird stuff, like a week before he died. Do you think that he knew he was dying? Yeah, some people tap into that. I know one kid, woke up, told his mother that he had a dream that there were so many people in this room. Everybody he knew was in this room, loved ones, family, friends, but nobody could hear him. He was trying to talk to everybody and nobody could hear him. And the next day he died in a motorcycle accident. Yeah. Okay. Okay, Melissa asked, why do souls volunteer to leave heaven? Again, I went over that in the live feed. How far is heaven? Literally, a hop and a skip right there. Like, right here. They're right here. We're blending. Oh my God, Lily, what do you want? What is Jesus doing these days? Melissa.
Oh, Melissa.
You know, he went to a rave last night. He called me. It was just like, this place is booming.
Oh,
And then I could hear the music, and he's just like, yeah, it's jamming.
she's not going to think that's true. That is not going to answer her question.
Oh, and then he said he had just had way too much to drink. And I'm like, oh, you should just crash in my place. Really? Okay, sorry, I had to joke. He's laughing. I can hear him laugh. Oh, he's playing cards with Elvis. Elvis always wins. Jesus lets him, because that's how much he loves him. probably should ask him, not joke, seriously. Because, wow, that was a simple answer. I'm with my people. Keeping it real. He just shook his head at me. He just went. Seriously, he just shook his head at me.
Oh, I believe it.
It's right there by the chair. Just sitting there going, there's something wrong with you. I'm kidding. He didn't say that. Oh, dear God. Just keeping it real. Homie. I should stop drinking this.
I think the Shungite's getting to you. There's something more than Shungite in there.
Jesus be giving me crystals, it's getting me high on energy. He be popping some medicine in my water. Some of these questions I can't even answer. Like, it's too much, like, too in depth. We'd be here all day. When we die, our souls go to a new contract. Yes, it does go to a new contract, a new journey, a new contract. Or if you didn't learn the first time, you're going to repeat and go through it again until you do learn it. When our ears ring, Amina asks, does that mean anything? Yes, that's our guides talking at a high-pitched vibration that we don't understand, because we're in different planes of existence. So when you hear it, just ask them, what are you saying? Ask them here. Kelly said she wants some shungite. All right. What are orbs? Orbs are souls. How can we make the world a better place? Oh my God, Melissa, really? I gotta drink some shungite water for this one.
Oh my God, she's so.
All right, how do we make the world better, Yvonne?
That's your question.
Oh, I got good ones. Like,
They ain't asking me.
like if you're at McDonald's, like, wait, was I at McDonald's? No, I went to Arby's today. I probably shouldn't have ate that shit, but whatever. It was like I hadn't eaten breakfast. It was already 4 o'clock in the afternoon or evening, and I was like starving, and I was not going home to cook, and I was like, I don't care if I get the poopies. It's happening. But it's paying for like the car behind you because it's an old couple and you love them and you think they're awesome and you never met them, but you're looking at them in your rear view going, they're awesome. I'm paying their meal.
Okay,
Do you see? What does Mia do that? Oh.
it's the head, and hand.
Can people rebuke illnesses and tell it to leave their body? Yeah, actually. I know. I think when it doesn't work, they're supposed to be learning from it.
Right.
But I think the learning is rebuking as well. You can rebuke it through the learning. Can people think themselves into sickness or good health? Absolutely. What you think is what you're creating, so whatever you push out is going to be returned to you. This is all Melissa, dude. By the way. I can't take it. Every question, I love it.
Her brain never stops.
I know, I can't take it. I love it. I get like questions at like 3 in the morning, and I'm like, oh my God, Melissa, this is way too long. I can't right now. Or Kelly answers her and goes, well, I think she'll get back to you tomorrow. I think she's in bed. You think? It's like this big long novel.
She don't
All
sleep
these
because her
questions.
brain's
No.
constantly overdrive.
And I thought I was bad. Jeez. Okay. Are we supposed to have a blind eye to homeless people? This is Melissa again. What? Or addicts. How do we help the truly broken lives? I don't see them as broken lives. I see those lives as really learning. They're challenging themselves. She said, I remember Jesus appeared as a beggar 3 times in the Bible, so it feels like a test failure every time we've just passed by. No, I don't see it as that. I think what he was trying to show people is don't get on your high horse. There's people that are worse off that if you are high up, you should be helping. That's how we grow in love. We help one another, no matter the circumstances. You're supposed to have faith in God that he will say and answer your prayers. Okay. So I have been asking for a miracle to give my husband a child, even though I had a tubal done 19 years ago. I actually have missed almost 3 periods now. So how can you have faith that he will answer your prayer? Okay, here's where you're going wrong with that. It's not about answering prayers. It's what's in your soul contract. If this isn't in your soul contract, you're pushing something that isn't supposed to even be there. So really what they're trying to do is show you, concentrate on something else that can use your energy more. Crystal Rouch is asking this. Is it logical to rethink on faith? I have been told I would have 4 children in past. I have 3 now. Just curious on your thoughts. And you may have had a miscarriage with the 4th. I don't go off of other people's predictions. And I don't like doing that. There's only a handful of people I trust who are readers, because not everyone is a reader. Because I was shown there's only a few of us that were granted the Holy Spirit. And again, this goes to your soul contract. And what I'm getting from your guide is you need to put your energy towards other things that can use your energy, not this. If you've already had 3 children, you're meant to understand the blessing of having those 3 children and not push the envelope, because there's some that don't have any and want just 1. Okay, so they're almost showing you like being grateful and don't push the envelope. I mean, I'm there with you. I lost Leo, and we were just at the license plate, or the license center for Eden to get her permit. Thank you. God, I'm losing my mind. And there was a little boy. He had a little animal backpack, and there was like a leash to his mom, so he couldn't get away from her. It was hilarious. And he just sat down in the middle of the door frame so nobody could get in. You had to go around him to get in. And Justin was just howling and laughing about this kid, and I just kept thinking, man, I wish Leo would have made it, because he would have had Justin howling and laughing every day. It would have been a serious adventure for him to go through, but it wasn't in the cards. So Melissa says you're extremely here goes Melissa in her brain. Oh, I can't take it. Melissa Ream, you're extremely advanced. Are you one of a kind, or are there more like you? Oh my God, I can't take it. I love her. We are all one of a kind, but I'm specific into who I really am. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it does.
Melissa.
Shoot. I don't want you to ask such.
I should just have like a whole post. Melissa, what questions would you like to ask for the radio show? I love it.
Melissa questions.
Melissa questions. Do family members still bicker in the afterlife?
Oh God, I'm drawn if they do.
No, and I've actually seen this in action. I saw it while I was there. I saw a father and a daughter, and father was very Catholic, very religious, and she didn't see things the way he did. And when he crossed, he saw obviously a whole different picture. It wasn't about religion. And then she passed, and I saw their interaction of what was going on at the time, and it was very nice. It was really cool. But he embraced her, and there was this telepathic understanding that I'm so sorry. I was very engulfed in the religious learning that I was supposed to be learning, and I didn't mean to take my prejudice and ego out on you because of my learning. There was like this embrace and this like forgiveness and understanding that you can't really get on earth. So yeah, they don't continue to bicker after that. How can I learn? Who are my, oh, I sent that to her. Okay, here's the surgery question. Again, this is like the 4th or 5th person that's asked. I'm interested in a comment you made yesterday about when you have surgery, it's because you have to visit the other side. Yes, that would be correct. I had so many surgeries in 2009, with 2 being major ones that I almost died, and the second major one on a vent ICU. Are these out points? Yes, very much. And why would we need to go back and forth so much and a 6-month period. Usually that happens when the soul is very confused as to what they want to do here. They subconsciously know what's in the soul contract, but Fran, I know, she's so inquisitive, I can't take it, I love it. But yes, a soul can keep going back, and it seems like in your circumstances there was some kind of confusion going on where your soul wasn't matching up with what your physical was doing, so you kept going back for clarification, and there was 2 times you didn't want to return because you felt that maybe it was too hard to kind of get back on track. So that can happen. It can happen for souls that are just really trying to figure out what they really want to do here, and they don't want to make mistakes. Those usually they keep going back and forth are the ones that they feel they're going to make mistakes and they don't want to make them because they don't want to keep coming back here. So they'll just, it's like they're perfect, like their soul has to be a perfectionist. So it's almost like, well, if I can't do that, I'm just going to come back and we'll start over. Like, you can't keep doing that. So that's why they kept sending her back. So this is Dana Hawkins. When I dream of my daughter, I know it is her, but I can see her, but I can never see her face. Why can't I see her face in my dreams? It is driving me crazy. Okay, Dana Hawkins Hughes, this is mainly because she's trying to show you she's not the same anymore, that she's still an essence of the personality of your daughter here, but she is changed and different in heaven. And she's trying to show you she's still with you no matter what learning she's continuing to do from this point on. I am going to thank Melissa Ream for popping this question in my mind. This is Claudia Laura. What are some physical, emotional, spiritual symptoms that one experiences when one is living in at high vibration moment or phase? Well, you're looking at it. Your body rejects food, it won't sleep, it's not aligning with the soul because the soul is like vibrating way too high, and the soul just wants to like drift off to the other realm. This may sound common, but what happens when we die? I am more attracted to my body than my soul. I just went through that, so on the Facebook. Victoria, I think it's good if it's monitored and not abused. Souls are not sad when they pass, Kelly, no. They're actually very calmed. Let me give you an example. There was a mother that had cancer, and she was collapsing, like she was going into cardiac. And the team was working on her, and she had a council, she had 2 councilmen come up to her while she was crossed over and said, you have the choice of going back, coming back or going back, meaning going back to heaven or coming back here. And she said, oh, I want to stay here. Like, she knew that her family would be okay, everybody would be, not everybody would be okay, but it was more along the lines of, oh, they're going to be here soon. Because there's no concept of time in heaven. So technically, literally, within a couple minutes, 2 hours, you're there. That's how quick it is in heaven. So she's in her head, oh, well, they're going to be here soon, so I'll just stay. They said, we want to show you something first. And they showed her what her husband was going to go through. Oh, he'll be fine. He'll be here soon. Again, you have the choice to go back, but let us show you one more thing. And then they showed her what her mom was going to go through. Oh, she'll be fine. She'll be here soon. It wasn't anything major. It wasn't until they showed her what her kids were going to go through that she said, okay, I'll go back. And then they resuscitated her and she came back. So that was the choice. They do show you other avenues to make you come back if they feel it's better for you. But again, ultimately, you have the choice in the end. Kelly, not so much because technically you're already there. Technically, all of you are with your loved ones right now. It's just the time here takes really long, and the time there doesn't exist. So it goes real quick. Why do people choose to come back to a place full of pain and suffering? Crystal, I just went over that in the radio show, so that would be something you would go back in the live feed to watch. Yes, Kelly, that would be very much the reason why he would come back. He would have probably seen all the lives, how they would play out, and it bothered him. Or there was more learning to be had, and he felt the need to kind of just finish it out instead of having to come back again. Okay, is it true that when our souls are in another dimension that we can see our past and future? Well, in the dimension of heaven or paradise, yes, you can. I wanted to actually talk about this, and Victoria just reminded me of this. I was doing my notes last night, and I didn't have the TV on. I was trying to concentrate on what Maria wanted me to kind of go over, and I was trying to organize my thoughts, and there's a book that kind of helps me organize my thoughts with all of this. And I could have swore I saw Maxie go across the bottom of the bed on the floor, like on the carpet, and I was like, and I look over, he's dead asleep next to me. The freak. So then I hear jingling of a leash, and he's still there. Like, this was like 20 minutes later. I go, Eden gets out of the bathroom, I go, Eden, I just swore I saw Maxie go across the bed, and he's right here. And she goes, Mom, I've been seeing that a lot too. So I'm like, man, is dimensional frequency coming through. It's like, it's not supposed to be doing that, but it's doing it. Like, it's almost like a vortex of time opens up in part of the environment where you can see into the other dimension of things happening.
Right.
So either he did that or he was about to do that, and I was seeing it happen. Yeah, it was just really. I'm looking over at him going, what the
What are you doing,
Maxie? And then I was kind of going over this with Maria, and she kept saying, also think of astral projecting. And I was like, wait a minute. So Maxie's sleeping, but I'm picking up on his astral quantum physics physiology right now. And she's like, yes. So in a sense, you're seeing what's happening before, what's happening after in his. Do you kind of get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
like,
get
he's
what you're
dreaming, he's astral projecting, and I'm seeing his astral projection kind of walking around the room.
Oh my God.
Maxie, get the hell back in your body.
That's
Stop messing around, Maxie. You're freaking mommy out. How often do people tell you they feel like they know you? Oh my God. I can't count. Honest to God. Bernadette, I can't count. I get it a lot. You would have known me either from a past life, or me being your teacher in heaven. You're recognizing my soul is what's happening. This may sound weird, but it's been on my mind for a few now. Is my grandpa? Oh, Amber, I can't see the rest of your question. What is Jan asking? Do souls know what they died from? Jan, not necessarily, not all the time, because again, when I talk about the hallway or the corridor to the hall of knowledge, that's where that's going to get obtained. But there is actually a healing area for ones that have dementia, Alzheimer's, or maybe traumatically passed from a confused mind. They go to a perceived healing area where they kind of help them work that out of their system. It's kind of like if you have the flu, and the doctors and nurses are kind of giving you fluids, and you're drinking water, and you're drinking orange juice, and you're getting it out of your system by like peeing and whatever, getting it out. It's the same kind of concept. So not all souls know that they died. or how they died, I should say, how they died. So it's kind of like one minute I'm here and the next I'm like, oh, what's going on now? So, okay, so they kind of work that through their system. Really? Aww. Okay, wait, I can't go down. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Okay, guys, I need to put this out there. I've been seeing this a lot lately. When somebody's presenting a question to me, please don't answer for me, because your answer's not going to be on the same level of knowledge that I am at. So please hold your answers. If that's something you want to do, you can do that on your page, but I'm here to teach, and I don't, it's just out of respect for me, please don't answer on my behalf, because your answer's not going to be aligned with mine. Okay. Pamela, are you asking like if the soul remembers if they were murdered? Is that your question? Okay, Kayla, that would, I would have to go back and see who you're seeing, because I'm not seeing it right now. I would have to go back and look. I get a lot of my spirit guides are behind me, helping me with answers and things like this. Okay. Okay, so what if you were murdered? I don't like putting every death in the same box or concept. So it depends on the soul. If the murder was severely traumatic for them, they could go through that healing. And then again, how I talked about the resting place, to have it removed. Because if it's going to hinder future lives or lifetimes, that part of the soul contract of what they learned can be removed. Yes. I pictured Victor looks like Dick Tracy. Mandy, you crack me up. Oh my god, you guys are seriously cracking me up. Okay, wait, I just need to write something down. Wait, I gotta go up a question here, guys. Hold on. You guys are pushing in a lot of questions. Okay. Oh, this is a good question. How are hybrids created? Or otherworldly intimacy? Where did God come from? Oh, geez, these are a lot of questions. Where did God come from? Okay, that's a loaded question that I don't know if I can answer in like 5 to 10 minutes, but honestly, it was a concept of just being. Creation is created through the mind, so he was created through the mind by another being. I know a lot of people can't wrap their heads around this, but God did have siblings, if you will, a female energy and a male energy. Even though they are of both, God sees himself as I am, not so much a gender, but just an energy of I am, and that's how they see themselves. And he occupies a certain part of the universe of energy, whereas they do as well. And we know of him because he is all that we know, because he created us in that image of his energy. Hybrids are created when you have one race that mixes their energy of DNA. It's a DNA energy, a splicing of energy into two. That's how that's created. Jessica, if you've never met your grandmother before she passed, like if she was in your lifetime, you wouldn't know her as a guide. But if you feel like you've met her before, that would be more of a past life regression coming to the surface, where you're remembering that that familiarity with her. Lori, you're fine. Don't worry, you're good. Yeah, and Carissa, yeah, you can repeat certain lessons that maybe you had viewed someone else go through, and that's okay, because it kind of just sits back and makes you feel like you're not alone in that learning, so you kind of repeat what they did, so that it's kind of like a clan. Now, you can come in with a group, you can come in with one person that kind of has this similar learnings, so that's kind of like a group or a team that are learning together in the same energy. So let's say me and you,
Yes.
we kind of learn similar things at the same time.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. So that was like an agreement that we would come in and learn from the same energy at the same time, so that we felt like we were a team going through it.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, so let me see. There's a lot of
I didn't
questions.
think of it that way though.
Mhm.
So you said that.
Let's see.
I'm texting Eden.
What does she want? I'm trying to find some good questions. Wasn't Victor that spirit you saw while here in your house? Karen, yes. See, he didn't want to tell me right away that he was coming and taking over my contract, because he tried coming through to me in a different kind of energy like 3 years ago, and I wasn't prepared for it. I didn't want it right away. I just kept pushing out to Maria that I wanted her and strictly her, and I didn't like change. I don't really like change. Change kind of throws me off with what I'm trying to do here. But if there is a big change, I'll just accept it and go with it. But I really would rather not do it because I don't like it at all. But recently I kept getting these feelings like she was pulling away or advancing in some way, and I didn't know what was going on until I started doing readings on myself. And I noticed that she kept showing me like a cocoon and then a butterfly, which told me that she was going away to kind of advance herself, because she explains it to me in the sense that I'm advancing in my gifts or my abilities. My abilities are advancing, just like when Jesus in his time, after so long, his abilities were advancing as he grew and learned. His energy advanced to a certain level, and that's what I'm doing. And she wasn't supposed to stay with me this long because she wasn't equipped to help me this long. So Victor was supposed to, he's a higher vibration, so he was meant to kind of take me further. So she's going away to kind of advance in that way because she knows I want her with me, beside me. So there was an agreement that there's a familiarity between me and her, and we work well together. So they're allowing her to advance to a certain degree so that she can help me alongside of Victor. So it'll be two of them helping me. So I'm just waiting, for her. She's still there, but she's not full. Like, I'm listening more to Victor now until she's ready to come back. So if that makes sense to you. Okay, oh man, trying to stay with this, but getting so confused. I'm preschool level. Lori, that's okay. Remember, the baby can't eat steak, okay? Yeah, Victor is my guide, yes. Yeah, you're gonna wanna, Laura, you don't wanna like pull back from the learning. But you want to kind of just absorb it, because obviously you were drawn to come here to learn, so you want to kind of just continue with it. Just take some of it in. Don't feel overwhelmed with it, because I try to do the best analogies as I can with what I'm teaching you guys. So if I've had people come to me and go, wow, this is like really, but I like twisting your brains, because it's stuff that you guys can be utilizing in your life. It's not something that you can just, it's something that you know, it's like food in your system. It's, you've been used to, like, let's say for example, you're used to eating pizza and cookies and chicken, and I'm suddenly showing you, why don't you try the sushi? Or why don't you try tuna, or try the salmon? I'm giving you different food options to kind of absorb and take in. Okay, think of it more like that. Okay, don't pull away from it, but absorb it as it comes, because each live feed I teach different things. So there might be ones that are more at like more understanding. This one was kind of more advanced, so it's okay, because I'm trying to take everybody to a little bit of a higher level. So don't feel overwhelmed. I keep hitting smiley faces. Evelyn said, well, I will be leaving now since you are totally busy at this moment and everything. Have a good evening. What is happening? Okay. See, when I press see more, I can't see more. Why doesn't Facebook like fix that? Okay. Misty says, Anna, I hope she answers this because I'm not feeling in the way you do, so her answer will be intriguing. Okay, Anna's asking a question, so let me go back. I find that you guys have very similar answers. Wait, who has very similar thoughts on Abraham Hicks? Oh, never heard of him. Or hopefully it's a guy. I don't know. Sorry, the light went off. Wait, Crystal says, I'm not making fun when I ask, but do you get bothered like in Ghost? Wait, Crystal, can you rephrase that? Because I don't understand. How can I understand his strength that way? Jackie? I hope I'm not messing up your name. I don't mean to, but let me put my glasses on. I can't see. That would be something that we would work on one-on-one. That's not something I would do through here. Samantha, yes, your soul family can grow or shrink. It's really up to who wants to come through and learn with you, who doesn't, who does. Oh, Deanna, it's okay, honey. Did Evelyn try to ask a question and I didn't see it? Because I'm not seeing anything from her. All of a sudden she seemed to get really upset and then leave. But I'm not seeing anything from her asking me a question.
Sometimes people's questions don't come up.
I'm not seeing any of it. I'm not seeing anything from her. Like, guys, there's a lot of people asking questions. If I don't get to your question, please don't get upset with me. It's not my fault. This is what I'm talking about, guys. Everyone lets their ego and dark take a hold of them. Stop it. Just stop it. It is driving all of us nuts. Like, you're pushing your dark, negative energy onto us who are trying to be positive and teach you guys. But if you keep coming at us like, do it now, me, I'm not gonna, I can't work with that.
It's not humanly possible
It's
for you
not.
to read everyone.
I can't answer everyone's questions, you guys. And I even actually, after live feeds, either I or Kelly, or both of us actually, go back and she'll answer questions that she feels she can, and I'll answer questions that I feel I can. Yeah, exactly, Kelly. You have to hush your ego. Stop letting your ego take over, because it's just causing drama.
Everybody's
it's causing
questions will be asked,
problems.
but maybe just not at the moment.
Ay, ay, ay.
The answer.
This is why I have an ulcer. Or I think I do. It's just been crazy. Like, this is what the same stuff we're getting at the shop. Like, answer my question now.
I want this now.
I want this now. Like, last night we had an issue with someone, I don't even know who it was, who wanted me woken up at 1:30 in the morning because she couldn't find her keys, and she was giving my team such a hard time because she couldn't find her keys. Oh really? Yeah. I don't know what to do. I was sick and my team let me sleep. This is the stuff we're talking about, guys. That would be Easter and Jerry Hicks. Easter channels Abram. She teaches law of attraction. Okay, I don't know anything about her. I'm sorry, honey. Like in Patrick Swayze when he had to sing because Whoopi wouldn't leave him alone. Oh. Yeah, that happens a lot to me. You have no idea. But I can put up borders sometimes, Crystal. There was like a homicide case I was working, and I had to literally take off work for 3 months. I didn't have any clients, no nothing for 3 months. And didn't make money, trust me, that month or those months, because it was nonstop. I would fall asleep and I'd be like, oh my God, yeah. What? Because he would bounce like the bed or like wake me up and I'll go, what? And he'll go, well, I forgot to tell you that. And then he would tell me something. I'm like, okay, I'll get to it tomorrow.
Remember the time difference.
I know. They don't care. They don't get it though. And where they're at, they don't get it. And then I just like, I'll fall back asleep and then I'll hear like, and then he'll like say something like, why can't you wait till tomorrow? I had one literally slam my bedroom door and I shot up like, what the hell was that?
I feel like getting your attention.
Oh my God, it scared the shit out of me. And I thought Justin was home because usually that door will slam if the back door is opened because he lets the dogs out and it'll slam sometimes. And I thought that's what it was. So I went down here to look for him. It was like 5 in the morning. Nothing. I didn't see nothing, no spirit. No, I'm like, oh, that's real nice. Wake me up with the door, jerks.
They got your attention, didn't they?
Oh, it was horrible. Yeah, it scared the crap out of me, Crystal, to say the least. Okay. Weird thing, my sons were discussing life tonight and it was so inspiring. They sounded like 2 old souls. Heather, that's awesome. Okay. Yeah, Kimberly, I use that analogy too, that like if your keys go missing, it's either souls messing with you because they think it's funny, or someone doesn't want you driving at that particular time because maybe they're preventing you from going somewhere that you shouldn't be going. Michelle, I do not know about that. I can't speak on it. I've never heard of it. Sorry, honey. Oh, yeah, Janice. Yeah. A little bit, Sandra, but I'd like to do a live feed on it. Sue, that's awesome, honey. Rupinder, I hope I'm not butchering your name. If there isn't a lot of readers in the world, then I was wondering what are the other people who, see, I can't read her comment, who give readings are accurate. Are they called? Well, that's just, I got no words. I can't read because, see, do you see? I can't read because all the smiley faces are here. Like as soon as I press see more,
how do you get rid of that?
Yeah, how do you get rid of that without, and see if I click over here, it goes back up and I can't. And if I hit one of those, it goes back up. I can't read the comment. Like,
You
they
can't-
need to fix that.
Yeah, that's something you're gonna have to try to figure out because
I can't. Like, it's gonna be something Facebook needs to fix because I can't see it. And see there? Yeah, I can't read.
We need a bigger screen.
I know.
We have to go get one.
Try to put out only the positive energy that you want to see in the world. Exactly, Jackie. That's such a good, good analogy, honey. Let me go down a little bit. Louise said that'd be awesome. Just call the shop, and you can get scheduled in. It's 814-6. Oh my God! I almost gave my number. Don't call that number. 814-254-4523. Chris, can Yvonne or someone read it to you from their phone? Oh, maybe. I don't know if Yvonne went on her phone, maybe that'd be a possibility.
What do they want me to do?
They wanted to see if you could pull it down on your phone, but I think we're gonna get the same problem because it's on a phone.
I have to get on the live feed.
Yeah, Robin said it does the same thing on her phone, so it
Okay,
doesn't
that's
really
gonna do it
matter.
on mine.
Yeah. Sherry, I do what's called soul contract readings or spirit guided readings, where I can tap into those records. Yes, there's only a few of us that can do it, if any of us can. I just know that I can, and I know in heaven there's not a lot of access to it. Christy said, "Oh my God, so funny you say that. I literally lost my keys for 2 years on my Saab anti-left feature or something. I can't read the rest because I have to press that read more thing. Because you're live, I can click the see more and it works. Oh, okay. Mandy, I didn't because I went over that in the radio show. Pamela, that's okay. What you would do is inbox, or mainly what you want to do is just go to the website, purchase the reading you want because you're overseas, and then okay, if there isn't a lot of readers in the world, then I was wondering, what are the other people who give readings messages and are accurate? Are they called something else? Yeah, Rupinder, there's different energy abilities out there. Not everyone is a medium. Like, basically what I tell people is, so what? You're a medium. Who the hell cares? What specifically are you really accurate in? What advancements do you have? Medium is just a title to put everybody in this little box. Everybody is different in their abilities. So what makes you different is what I'm trying to get at. Pamela, again, you're going to want to go to the divinemedium.com, divi.com, divinemedium.com, and purchase the reading you want. And then once the purchase is made, there's a notification that gets sent to the online team, and then they'll get you scheduled via email, okay? There is an email. If you don't have a phone, it's the divinemedium@gmail. Super easy. No, Crystal, you're fine. If you have to repeat a question, that's fine. If I see it, I see it. If I don't, just because there's so many questions coming in. Yes, Shaylin, this is live now. Again, with the Akashic records, there is only a few that have access to this. Do you see what I mean? I can't anymore. I can't.
You need to.
I know. I have to. It's done. I can't do it
Yeah.
anymore.
It's time.
Sorry guys, we had to block somebody. I can't do this anymore, guys. You're coming to me for answers. I cannot have other people answering for me. If you passed away and came back and know all the knowledge, then hey, you can talk to me. Let's discuss. But if you're saying wrong answers and I know what I know because of what I know, I can't do it anymore.
I've been with you for how long and I never answer for you. It's like
I can't. I'm
you don't
sorry,
do
guys.
that.
I can't. I can't do it anymore.
No. You're the only one with the answers. The right answers, so.
Rebecca Jane, do wishes come true? Yes, very much. If you push out that you want something to you can make that happen. It's really, again, it goes back to the law of attraction. What you push out is going to come back to you. If you want more abundance, it's more not I wish for it, but more I'm already having it. Like, you have to think I already have it, and you're obtaining it already. Okay. What do I know about this? Well, what do you want to know, Jessica, about the Syrians? My best friend was an Assyrian, but she passed away last year. Crystal, I'm sure you could. If you didn't want to use those two, I'm very sure you could just take them out and see what happens. If you're getting like negative effects from it, I wouldn't continue using those decks. What traits are passed down biologically versus, well, that's a very broad question, Carissa. I would probably try to be more detailed in your question. Thank you, Sandra, because I'm like, we've been dealing with it for the last like week, that some people feel that they can answer for me, and the answers aren't even correct. They're not even close to being correct, and I'm just like, you gotta stop. At some point, you gotta let go of your ego and just stop. My guides are Syrian. I was told I am. I am just looking for general. Jessica, that's awesome. But here's what I would suggest to you. Don't let somebody tell you this information when it comes to your guides, because they could be picking up on something with themselves and pushing it onto you. So what I suggest you do is go on my website, thedivinemedium.com, DIVI, and click the free gift. It's free. There's no charge to it. And download the meditation. If the meditation doesn't work, some people we've been seeing lately with their internet, what's it called? Like Safari, Firefox. It just depends on which one you're using. For some reason it doesn't download. So just inbox and one of my teammates will send you the download. But basically what I do is I walk you in the meditation. I don't implant anything. I'm just walking you right to your guides, and they take it from there. It's really awesome. You can actually, if you wanted, you can, before you do it, post and say, has anybody done the meditation, and had anybody had any results, and just let everybody tell you how their spirit walk went, okay, before you try it. So it's trying before you buy, okay? And it's free, so there's no obligation. It doesn't download on iPhones. Kayla, if it doesn't download, just send us an inbox, and one of the teammates will actually send you the link, okay? Thank you, Crystal. I really appreciate that, guys, because we've been dealing with it for a week, and I can't do it anymore. Like, she just kept answering for me, and I'm like, no, please stop. And I said, please stop answering for me, and she wouldn't listen.
If she doesn't, then it's,
if you're not gonna listen, I have to block you. I'm sorry, I can't have it. Okay, Jessica, that's awesome. Always remember, let your guides tell you. Let them tell you. So that's awesome. If you're seeing them in astral projection, I would just keep doing that. You can try the meditation and see how it works, but honestly, I would just keep going with what they show you. That's awesome. That's awesome that they showed you. Thank you, Crystal. Okay, so Carissa, see, I can't see the rest of her thing. All I see is, I'm wondering what aspects of our personality traits are genetic. Okay, so Carissa, basically, if you're seeing a genetic repeating. So let's say, for example, grandma gets cancer, mom doesn't, but then you do. This is something that was agreed upon that, you know, you would witness what your grandmother went through, and it would be like maybe a blueprint. And then you go through it and you remember what she went through. So it's kind of like, okay, I seen what she went through. I'm going to try to do it this way, or I'm going to repeat what she did because it helped with her. This is why this is repeating. Versus the spiritual would be, you know, something you're going through that nobody else is going through that maybe is happening. This is just mainly something that, again, you wanted to learn from. Mandy, yes, they do. They can perceive themselves into a nationality to come across more familiar to you, or maybe separate themselves from other guides and you, so that you can count on them. Like Maria's more ethnic than Victor. Victor kind of comes across to me like a professor. So there are two different aspects, and that's how they come across. Yes, you can meet your loved ones who have passed in your next soul contract if they agree to it. You can repeat. So your mother could be your sister next time in another life. It's really up to you. Heather, you can tap into that, but most of the time your soul shouldn't, because you don't want to know when you pass, because it kind of almost messes up with your free will. Because if you know when you're going to pass and how, it's strategically, like, you strategically almost like tiptoe through your life and not actually live it how you're supposed to. Now there's some that know and they live life to the fullest before they go, and that's actually pretty awesome. No, Robin, a twin flame is not a soul. It's not a soulmate. That's a totally different energy. That's basically taking one soul, cutting it into two, Adam and Eve, if you will. They're very identical, just one's more female, one's more male. And this will be the last question that we take, because I have to go and go night-night so I can get up tomorrow. But these two souls don't usually come into play in a life unless there's something that needs to be, like, there's a specific mission that needs both energies together to be in it. And half the time they don't usually work very well together because they're too identical, and usually one has more of an ego than the other. Okay, so guys, what I'm going to suggest you guys do, all the questions that I didn't get to, I'm going to post on Sunday for the live feed, if you guys want those answered. If they're not, it's hard to see them here. That's why I always post a post. Anyone wanting me to answer questions during the radio live feed can question them here, and I'll go through them all, okay? Now, if I feel like I answered them through the radio show, just go back and review it, and most likely your question was answered through that, okay? Now, if you feel that it didn't, then again, you can post it in a different way or ask it a different way on the next posting of leave your questions here, okay? But I love you guys, and I'm sorry for the negative. Like, we've been dealing with a lot. This is just an example tonight that we've been dealing with. So just, we need to cleanse. We need some sage, we need to cleanse. So I love you guys. Keep going. And, you know, Melissa's question about, you know, how do we make life better? How do we help people? How do we help the homeless? Pay it forward. That's what I'm going to tell you. Just let go of your egos and love. Let go of pride and love. Just keep loving everyone and keep continuing. Okay? I love you guys. Peace out. Bye.